Hi Prop fan, Scarecrow here. Today I have Ray's Blaster from Force Awakens. This is the kit that was produced by Solus Hold and the team over at NerfworXlab. It is a one-to-one replica. It is incredibly detailed, highly accurate. I really love it. There's a lot of heft to it. Um, Even though it's aluminum, you would be surprised. Like I said, there's good weight to it, good feel. These pieces are very hefty here, so that adds to it. Everything on it really impressed me. Of course, most of you know these come as raw kits. They require assembly, finishing, etc. So since this was the TFA version, I went ahead and weathered it out, pulled all the pictures I could, weathered it out to specs on the TFA version with the bluing, things like that. I'll get into detail on that later. This is a fully functioning replica. It won't fire plasma bolts, but it definitely makes noise. This has a Plecter core version 5 in it. It's housed in the chassis here. I'll show that in a moment as well. One of the things I really love about this prop is to turn it on. There's no kill key involved in this one. It's just an on-off switch. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you right here. All of your ports, everything right there. Recharge, SD, on-off switch.
You know how to use one of those?
Yeah, you pull the trigger.
A little bit more to it than that.
And screw this back in. Of course, these things are always easier to do if you're not sitting behind a camera. Alright, and now it is ready to go. You have a trigger and your fully functioning auxiliary switch. Here, your slide switch. Show you. And as you can see, there are lights inside the barrel to give a ray propagation effect. Put a lot of work into getting those right, and I used a 10mm LED in the barrel. And actually, another reason this one is so loud is because I use speaker grill cloth in this slot here instead of trying to drill a couple of little holes into the metal plate or anything. I thought best sound venting, it's going to be this way. So that's what I did. And with the Plecter Labs, it does have, let's see, 6 sound fonts on it. The first one was provided by Scott Juarez, Scott JUA of Crucible Custom Props. He made one for TFA. The others are the stock fonts. I actually want to play with some of the settings a little more. It's actually fun. I put the audio player on, which it does have an audio player as well, and it sounded remarkably good. But just give you an idea. And now I'm going to go ahead and get into the little more detailed parts, kind of the specs and stuff like that for people who are interested in such things. First and foremost, like I said, this was the NerfworXlab kit. 2 years in development for them to come out with this. It is really, I mean, it is incredibly accurate. Trust me, I've been staring at pictures of the screen prop for a while now, trying to match the weathering, so I would be the one to tell you. As far as the paint goes, this is all paint. There is no chemicals, washes or anything on this, no aluminum black. I was trying to match the prop. You get better control out of paint than you will aluminum black. Plus, I think even Scott Juarez said it, chances are they used paint. I doubt very seriously they used aluminum black. So a lot of little things had to be done to match the prop. I had to do, it's never going to pick it up. You can see it in person. There's actually a little bit of pitting and kind of a stippling effect on this. All of this paint here is layered. If you look at the prop, you'll find out that under the black is actually blue and orange, and it's more of a green on the tip as a result, so checked all that out. Let's see if I can possibly show it. I doubt it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, if I put the white behind it. You can see there's a stray wire in the barrel. Again, that is to match the prop. It's not connected to anything. It's purely aesthetic. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. That's just connected. As far as the LEDs in here go, I bought a lot, tried a lot, played with a lot, ran into a lot of problems because the inside of this being aluminum, highly reflective. You get one, it wants to light up the entire barrel, and you can't get much of a propagation effect out of it. So I ended up mounting some 5mm flat top LEDs in a very specific pattern so that they could be isolated a little bit better. I love that. Let's see. And like I said, on this side, one of the concessions, other side, one of the concessions I did make was putting speaker grill cloth here as opposed to the aluminum plate that normally goes in this position. Like I said, it just made sense. You need to sound vent it. So that's what makes sense to me. Also spent a lot of time on this LED. I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to use a high power LED in here. I don't want to blind anybody, even if it's for a second. I deal with these tri-crees all day long, and trust me, I don't want to hit anybody in the eyes with one of those, even if it's just a single. So I went with the 10mm half watt, still super bright. What I really like is it lights up the entire end of the barrel there. Gives a great effect, and like I said, you're not going to blind anybody, because I know somebody's, kids are going to get a hold of these at some point, even though they're high-end replicas. Somebody's going to let their kids play with them, and you don't want them hurting each other. If anything, I'd be more worried about the volume, but it's not quite that bad, but it's loud. Let's see. Like I said, everything, all the little imperfections, like the paint on this screw, no paint on this one, it's sticking out a little further. All those are to match the screen prop. A little shinier on the top and bottom than it is on the side plates, the stippled paint, etc. Layers. Like I said, a lot of thought went into these. Also took a lot of work to get the trigger and the slide functioning exactly how I wanted them to. Trying to make sure that the trigger didn't activate until the very end of the pull, because this is a small trigger guard and you don't want it firing every time you put your finger in there. So like I said, that took some time. Same thing with the aux switch. Finding the right spring to go in here was really a pain. I tried the pen spring and they were all too large, so I had to find one that was much smaller and then find a way to secure it in there so it wouldn't bind. Let's see. And I did 2 of these, so I can go ahead, and I've got one open. I can show you what the chassis looks like. And this is what it looks like inside. Gives you a clear view of the ports. Like I said, your on-off switch, your 7.4 volt recharge, your SD card access, it's all right there. This never has to be removed. And I skipped the LEDs inside for a lot of reasons. First reason, they're burning up power. You'll never see them. They actually take up more power than this if they're constantly running. Didn't make sense to me. 2, these are T8 anti-tamper screws. Excuse me. Say that 3 times fast. And most people aren't going to carry a special driver just so that they can take the side plate off so they can check the power level of their battery. So basically, this will never be open. But still, of course, I use the aluminum rods to make it look as good as possible. It's very neat and tidy. Let's see. Holds everything very well. Does exactly what it's supposed to. So that's what it looks like, and then close it up and we're back to this, and there we go. Like I said, I couldn't be happier the way this turned out. The paint turned out good. Of course, the kit's excellent. No complaints there. Chassis works well. Everything. I kind of want one of these for myself now. It says a lot. I build a lot, and for me to actually say, you know what, I want one of these, that definitely takes a lot. But I've kind of fallen in love with them. They're a little bit small because Ray's hands are tiny. My better half loves it because it fits her hand like a glove. So. And also, one of the things, I skipped the auxiliary flash on this. I did it for a lot of reasons. If you want to do red and blue in the barrel, you have to get a satellite board, which this doesn't have room for, and I don't even think is on the market anymore. You can do a red and blue on that, but you can't get them in 10mm. It's a long, drawn-out story. I thought the best thing to do was stick with Canon Colors, red, Thought that was just the best thing. It never showed a stun effect in any of the movies. So, other than that, I think I've covered everything. Definitely big thanks to the team over at NerfworXlab for putting out this prop. They really did a great job with it. And I think I've covered everything, but of course, if you have any questions, comments, if you need me for anything, you can always reach me at the Rebel Armory forum, on my Facebook page, anywhere. That's Scarecrow's Workshop. So thanks for watching. May the force be with you.